An LCD screen, a gasket mount, 5 layers of sound dampening, hot-swappable switches, and an integrated 10,000 mAh battery. For $80, something here should feel cheap, but it doesn't. This is a 75% mechanical keyboard that costs less than most people spend on a pair of headphones. And after a few weeks with it, I really didn't expect to be this impressed by a sub $80 keyboard. So if you're looking for a brand new budget mechanical keyboard in your desk setup, here's why you might want to check out and consider the Epomaker TH80 V2 Pro. Firstly, for transparency, Epomaker sent this keyboard and I am partnering with them on this video, but as usual, my opinions are my own. Right out of the box, it has weight, and this thing is about 2 pounds or a kilogram with solid rubber feet on the bottom, so it feels rock solid. It's a 75% layout keyboard, which means you get your function row keys, you get your arrow keys, but no number pad, which means it's more compact, which is a nice setup for a smaller space. The keycaps are double shot PBT. They have this matte-like texture, and that doesn't attract fingerprints or dust the way that cheaper plastic keys do. It makes them easier to clean as well. So these won't get shiny and stick on you over time like ABS caps tend to do. They're pretty neat to see on a $80 keyboard. And then there's the LCD screen. It's a small color display right next to the volume knob that shows your battery level, the time, and your connection status. You can even upload custom GIFs to it through Epomaker's web-based driver. I've got a little cat waving on mine right now. Is it professional? Absolutely not. Do I love it? Yes, I do. But the knob itself is genuinely useful up here. It's mapped to volume control by default, and if you hold function and press it, it switches to controlling the screen. Stuff like scrolling through RGB modes, adjusting brightness, it's a nice touch overall. Or if you prefer, the knob can actually be replaced with a physical key with the included spare switches. But yeah, all of this is cool, but let's be serious. None of this matters if the typing experience isn't there, and this is where the TH80 V2 got me. So this build comes with either the classic creamy jade switches, but I've got the sea salt silent V2 switches here, and they're actually a treat. The keys offer really deep travel and generous feedback. There's this soft thud when you bottom out, and it's enough to feel distinctly mechanical, but it's quiet enough not to disturb anyone around you, and that's why I love them. These silent switches were one of the first things I noticed when I started using it, and probably the biggest reason why I kept reaching for it over the past few weeks. Late nights typing, quieter office spaces, shared rooms, these sea salt silent switches handle all of that without you ever feeling like you're compromising on that nice thocky typing feel. It's like stealth typing experience, you know, all the thock, none of the dirty looks from your colleagues or your partner at 1 AM. And a lot of that is thanks to the build underneath. This keyboard uses a gasket mount structure with 5 layers of sound dampening, stuff like poron foam, silicone pads, and IXP layers all stacked together. Basically, all that dampening material is what gives the keyboard that cushioned, buttery smooth keystroke. It's a great sound right out of the box. And the board is also hot swappable too, so you can, pull out the switches and put different ones in if you want. But honestly, I don't think most people buying a $80 budget keyboard is going to be switching out the switches every weekend. The included ones are already really good, surprisingly good actually, at an $80 price tag. In the 3 to 4 weeks that I've been using this keyboard, the battery went from 100% down to 30%. That's almost a month and I still have a third left over. That's thanks to the inbuilt 10,000 mAh battery, which is massive for a budget keyboard. That's bigger battery than most phones, by the way, in a keyboard. Epomaker rates it up to 200 hours of wireless use, and it feels like I've been getting more than that, to be honest. It also took less than 20 minutes to charge from 30% to full when I first got it out of the box, so even when you do eventually need to charge it, you're not waiting around. And this is a wireless keyboard that doesn't make you choose between RGB lighting and battery life. Most boards at this price, you turn on the backlighting and the battery drains in a day. This one runs bright, colorful RGB wirelessly and still lasts weeks. And as for connectivity, you get 3 modes. You get the USB-C mode, which gives you the fastest response and charges the battery at the same time. And then you also get a 2.4 gigahertz wireless via an inbuilt USB dongle, which is what I've been using most. And for day-to-day typing, there's no perceptible delay between processing a key and seeing on screen. And Bluetooth, which lets you connect up to 3 devices and switch between them, but expect slight lag in this mode. Also, that USB dongle is hidden in a small slot behind the keyboard's feet, which is a thoughtful design right here. And if you ever spent like 20 minutes looking for a USB dongle you swore was right here a second ago, this solves all of that. Now, it's still a $80 keyboard, so there are some trade-offs naturally. The case is plastic, and so the matte finish is clean and the colors are nice, but it doesn't have that premium, aluminium feel you get on a board that costs twice as much or 3 times as much. At $80, this is the most obvious compromise, I think, and you can feel the difference if you're used to higher end boards before. Also, the software situation is a bit of a mix. The web-based driver is actually a good thing, so no bloatware to install. You just open it in Chrome and customize your RGB, your key mappings, upload GIFs to the screen. But finding it on Epomaker's website and figuring out how to actually set it up could be a bit smoother on their website. And I also think the documentation needs work, but those are like minor gripes. But as for Bluetooth and gaming, it's perfectly fine for casual use. I actually did try some gaming over Bluetooth, and for anything relaxed, you won't notice the latency lag. But for obviously competitive or fast-paced gaming, there is very noticeable latency, but plugging in the USB cable will fix that, but it's just still not a gaming keyboard. One more thing, the keyboard sits quite high, even on the desk if you use the kickstands raised. So if you flip up those kickstands up, it gets even higher. So if you're sensitive to high angles, you should use a wrist rest. So that's worth keeping in mind because it does angle up pretty high. So overall, I would not have expected an $80 keyboard to be made this well and offer this much. This is my first Epomaker keyboard I've used and I am genuinely impressed. The typing experience alone with those sea salt silent switches and that 5-layer dampening is something I'd expect from a board in a completely different price bracket. The battery life is absurd, the PBD keycaps feel premium, and even the little details like the LCD screen and the hidden dongle slot show that someone at Epomaker was actually thinking about pushing out as much value as possible in the budget range of mechanical keyboards. Is it perfect? No. The plastic case, the app experience, the Bluetooth latency for serious gaming, those are real trade-offs. But at this price point of $80, I genuinely believe that this keyboard is a great choice for the vast majority of people. Whether you're upgrading, looking for something more compact for your desk, or you just want a solid mechanical keyboard without spending a fortune with great silent switches here, I think it's a steal. And I'll leave links to this keyboard down in the description below. Also, I am curious, what keyboard are you actually using right now? And would you switch to something like this? Let me know down in the comments below. If you made it to the end of this video too, drop the code word THOC in the comments and I'll give it a like. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.